Yes, 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 yes. Hey guys, Gerald Peters. Welcome back to my channel. A little bit of Coors Light here. Ticker symbol TAP. I hope you're in the money flow. You know what I mean, right? Meaning the money's flowing all around you. All of these products, look at this swimming pool. There's probably 6 tickers in that swimming pool. From the GE lights to the 3M material to the DuPont. Look at that 4-wheeler over there. These are all ticker symbols. Home Depot, the wood manufacturers, Sherwin-Williams paint. The money flow is all around you. It's one of the things that I talk about in my books. And I'm not gonna try to start yelling at anybody today. I do that a lot. I like to rant. It's kind of my natural state. I'm kind of an aggressive guy. I don't want to say competitive. The book, The Science of Getting Rich, if you click the link, you can get a free copy. It's cheap on Amazon. It's one of my favorite books, and it really changed my life. It was written in 1905 by a guy named Wallace Wattles, and there's 17 chapters, and there's stuff like gratitude, and there's stuff like give more in use value than you ask for in monetary value. Jesus. Didn't Jesus say it was better to give than to receive? Here's my office. We'll kind of walk around some of my property here. And, you know, so on my channel, really what I'm trying to do is give away a book I wrote called You Don't Have to Die Broke. And if I was being honest, all I'm trying to do is connect with like-minded people. Like, I'm only looking for people who are looking for me. I'm not trying to grow my shit to 1 million people. Now, I wouldn't turn it away, but I know that ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna be fancy enough. I'm not gonna tickle enough ears. I'm not gonna do it just right. I'm not gonna bother editing videos. I don't care about fucking cussing. None of that. Why? Because I didn't get rich trying to sell shit to people like this. I didn't get rich selling courses. You know, the way I made my money and the way I became, and I throw around that word rich. I'm not rich. I get up every day and work. But I became a multimillionaire, and the way I did that was working hard every day. The shit that I talk about in my book, I got to that, and then I started teaching it. I didn't teach it to get to it. And you'll see that on a lot of these gurus around here. Whoa, check this out. Let's see if we can turn it. It's not gonna let us. Check it out. Ooh, snake skin. My area has a lot of copperheads. So, what I try to teach is that you gotta get your buckets right, dude. And somehow you gotta do that inside of, well, life. And life's not easy, and it's hard, and there's lots of things that are gonna come at you, and some days are harder than others, and you know, kid's gonna have dental bills, you're gonna have flat tires, you gotta pay for this, you got Christmas coming up, anniversaries, wife's birthday. It's just one thing after another. It's like literally the forces of the universe are aligned against you to try to take your money, and somehow inside of that, you, king or queen, somehow you have to try to decide and fight to take some money, to set it aside, to begin investing, because that is the only way you're ever gonna be free. Check out some of my property. So I live on a couple acres, nothing fancy. Tree house I built my son. Check this out. I'm like a modern day sheik. It's like some shit you see in Iraq. So it's about to rain, so we pull back the covers on this. Check it out. It's my little man cave thing. Check it out. Got the fire pit going on. Right? See it? Kind of cool, huh? Whole house is paid for. Took me 7.5 years to pay off my house. And there's idiots out there that'll tell you that a house isn't an asset, that this isn't an asset. Those are dumb people, man. And I know some of you believe it because you listen to these gurus and they tell you the bullshit and you believe that your house isn't an asset. That's simply not true. I talked about this morning on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's at FullAuto11. If you go follow me, I promise you'll benefit from it. I'm not gonna even try to sell you shit. Now I have books and stuff, but you can follow the rabbit hole on that. I'm making my money doing the shit that I teach. I own rental properties. I own a portfolio of single family homes and I collect rent. I trade stocks professionally. I trade and I make money trading. I also invest in a portfolio of dividend stocks. So my whole day is about this shit right here. The 4 stages of price movement. Stage 1, stage 2 breakout. If you watch any of my lives, this is what's happening in oil right now. Stage 3, stage 4 decline. This is it, man. This right here is what it's all about when it comes to trading stocks. That's it. Anything that anybody else is teaching you is inside of this pattern right here. And this is what I teach. And every day for the last 20 years, I get up to do this, to trade stocks inside of this pattern of the 4 stages of price movement. And then when I do my couple hours on the market, I head off to do real estate. And in the middle, I follow the flow. I let the universe guide me where it wants to go. But what I figured out, see, the thing is, in a job, I never made more than $12.50 an hour. Never, man. I never made a lot of money, dude. I don't have some fancy degree. I don't have some fancy certification. I just worked. And because of that, I had to work harder than a lot of people. Not saying that I'm special or I worked hard. I'm just telling you my story and what I had to do. So I created this thing that I called the 8th day. I actually got it from a mentor. And all that 8th day means is that I had to find more time, I just had to find more time. I just didn't make a lot of money. Well, if you make $12 an hour and you work twice as much, it's kind of like making $24 an hour, right? So I just had to make more money, and I had to get super smart about how I spent my money. Like, I needed to know where every fucking penny was. And I'm not a budgeter. Don't misunderstand. I don't sit around doing budgets and Excel sheets and all that. I don't do that. Simple stuff. Notebook and pencil. People ask me sometimes, how do you buy a house? Real simple. I just look at it, and I look at the houses around it, and I need the house to be undervalued. I need to be able to force some equity by fixing it up. I put 20% down. I make sure I can rent it for a positive cash flow. So I got to figure out what the rents are, what my mortgage, my taxes, a little bit of maintenance is going to be. I'm going to do all the repairs myself. That's it. Real estate's a dumb man's game. And so I save up money, save up money, save up money, buy a house. Save up money, save up money, save up money, buy a house. And I've just been doing this for 20 years, just constantly doing this. And as I do this, I began to create this snowball effect. And my money just started growing. And before long, after about 6-7 years, and I talk about this in the book, it takes 7 to 10 years to build the foundation. Just the foundation to get rich takes 7 to 10 years. And once you lay that foundation, you've laid it. It's like building the house. It gets a lot easier after that. Why? Because then your money starts to work. See, the problem is if you blow off 7 to 10 years and no compounding, think about it right now. If you'd have been investing heavy in the stock market the last 7 years, and I mean going hard, what if when COVID happened, you were just backing up the truck, you're just dumping money in every time? In 2015, when the world was in it and they sold off the stock market, you were investing heavy. In 2012, you were investing heavy. In 2009, you were investing heavy. You know how much money you would have right now? And the thing is, that's been the case my entire life. In 2003, when the market crashed, in 96, like every crash has been an opportunity. Every problem is someone else's opportunity. There's always gold, man. The point is, you just have to start laying the foundation. And sometimes people will talk to me like, Gerald, did I miss it? The market's run up. Did I miss it? No, man. This game plays every day. This game's going to play long after you're dead. There's going to be people in the stock market, day trading, swing trading, looking for, there's always a good dividend stock. Right now, Campbell's is on sale. Intel's on sale. Cisco's on sale. Exxon's on sale. Guess what? In a year, it'll be 3M's on sale. Some company will have missed earnings or something happened. There's always a dividend stock on sale. The market consistently goes up over time. It goes up 70% of the time. So all we got to do is wait around for the 30. Look at the butterfly. All we got to do is wait around on the 30 and then capitalize. And that's what the 4 stages of price movement are about. So I just began trying to maximize my money, man. I didn't make a lot of money. So here's what I did. I didn't take on any fucking debt. I'm not saying I don't have debt now. I use debt now. The only people that should use debt are people that don't need debt. Because the moment you get, now, if the debt is paying you money, that's a different conversation, okay? But a lot of what happens is middle-class people, poor, average people, even poor people, you get in this situation where you got car payments, you got credit card payments, you got student loans, and when you get all 3 of those, you're fucked, dude. You're never going to be able to invest in real estate. You're never going to be able to go heavy in the stock market. Why? Because all your money's tied up in shit going out, not shit coming in. This is how I learned to trade. Let me take you through a little of my room. I have hundreds of books on the stock market. So when you come to me and you start taking my stock market class, guess what you're getting? All of that shit comprised. I've sorted through it, found all the good stuff, all the stuff you don't need. I can take 10 years off of your wasted time, 10 years off of your life, if you would just listen to me and just get into the 4 stages of price movement, understand the moving averages I use, the indicators, understand the fundamental analysis. I run this thing called the Money Flow Trading Society, and we're just like-minded people. See, where 2 or more gathered, remember Jesus saying that where 2 or more gathered, there's power in that. Let's come in here. It's kind of dark. Give me just a second. We'll turn this on. This is an extension. When I bought this house, it was 1,100 square feet. And then look, this is how big this bedroom is. It's too big, right? I used to raise Rottweilers, and they would always be around. They were always underfoot, so I built this big. I love guitars. So that's an add-on. So let's go through. I know sometimes people like it. So, I basically built this house, man. Check out all this furniture. These are all, this is from like 1910, 1920. That's not an antique. It's probably 40, 50 years old. But almost everything is an antique. Why? Because you can buy these at estate sales. So instead of going to a new store and buying some brand new fancy shit, I go to an estate sale or I go to an auction and I buy an antique. Why? Because that is worth what I paid for it or more. That's just a value proposition. Get it? Kind of like a 68 Mustang goes up in value, a brand new Mustang goes down in value. Why? It's a value proposition. One is a collector's item, one is not. So, collector's item, right? Those chairs that were in my room, those were from 1952. So it used to be kind of a hobby of mine to get classic furniture. There's no money in that. It's just kind of cool. My point is, all that was bought in pieces. So rather than going out and taking on debt for furniture, I see people that are making payments on furniture. Are you out of your mind? You can just go to estate sales and buy shit on pieces. So this house was built over 20 years, like a little bit at a time. Look at that. See this? 62 Gibson SG. This is a bad boy right here. Here's a 1980 Gibson. It's a bad boy right here. This came out of Caesar's Palace Casino. So, what is all that? It's not shit. This stuff all took time, man. Like, everything I'm showing you took me time to accumulate. Years and years and years. I pay cash, man. I don't finance anything. Unless it pays me money. There's my office again. So unless it pays me money, I don't finance it, man. I pay cash. Why? Because I don't want any debt, dude. Because I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know how much money I'm gonna make next year. The worst thing that can happen is they get you in, your salary. This is what happens. See, this is what happened to my friends. Let me tell you. They got jobs and they were making 50, 60, 70,000 a year. They knew how much they were gonna make. So they go out and they get a boat on payments and they get a car and they start going on vacation and they get married and they start doing all this stuff because they're comfortable. I didn't let myself get comfortable. I'm not comfortable right now. I'm worth a few $1,000,000 and I'm not comfortable. Like I'm looking like a shark. Like I can't get soft, man. What are you gonna do? Get comfortable? Sit on your couch? Oh, I got my money coming in. But it ain't no money. You understand that, right? 70 grand a year, that ain't no money. If you're making 70 grand a year, you can turn that into 150,000 a year and never get a raise at your job. You say how? Through investing. That's open to anybody. Anybody can dividend invest. Anybody can invest in REITs. Anybody can start investing in real estate. It's just how much time and effort you want to put into it. How fast you want to do it. I just bought this truck. I love this truck. I drove the same truck for 19 years. This is the first new truck I bought myself. Some of you guys don't even make 30,000 a year. You're driving brand new trucks. Some of you don't make what I collect in rent, and you're driving a truck like this, and you wonder why you're broke. Money proposition. Why? I waited 19 years. Why? Because I was focused on building my kingdom. So while you're out buying new trucks, I'm buying houses. While you're buying new trucks, you're making 30, 40, 50,000 a year, there's no way in hell I would buy a truck like this if I didn't have $1 million. There's no way in hell I would buy a brand new Silverado truck and spend $40,000 on a vehicle if I didn't have $1 million. And some of you have, and that's why you'll stay broke. Money propositions, man. It's just how you're positioning your money. So all of the money I could have bought another house in this. I could have bought another house. So if you're doing that, I'm not passing judgment on you. Do what you want to do, but then, you're going to have a hard time becoming financially free. I'm just telling you the real shit, like how I got financially free. I drove the same truck that I paid cash for 19 years. Why? So that I could buy rental properties. That's just what it was, man. These are decisions I made. I didn't go to college because I didn't want to take on debt. Look at this one. Black one. Paid cash for this bad boy too. Sure, some of you probably got nicer cars than this, but you got payments on your shit. This is a nice one, huh? Keep it covered. Cash. Now, some people will tell you, well, that's a lot of money locked up. See, the thing is, when people say that shit, they ain't doing shit with their money anyway. I have people say that all the time. Well, you don't want to pay your house off because that's money you could use, but you ain't using your money for the other thing. I had a guy tell me that, well, I don't want to pay that off because then I won't have money. And I say, well, how much you invest? And they're not even investing. So they're making some excuse that they're not even doing it for. See, when you don't have bills, guess what you have? Money. When you don't owe anyone, guess what you have? Money. So this is all an add-on. Paid cash, $12,000, pushed the wall out, we built that. I did some of the work, I hired some of the work. This is all an add-on. That's part of the original. This driveway was put in. Paid $66,000 for this house like 20-something years ago. It was a real piece of shit. And we just been working on it, building it, working on it, building it. None of this stuff was here. I personally built this wall. Just work, man. Just hard work. But here's what people do. You get married, you're young, listen up, you're 25 years old. You're the fuckers that make all the mistakes. When you're between the ages of 25 and 35, you get the choice to fuck your life up and do it wrong. And here's what it looks like. You go out and you borrow a bunch of money and you try to live like your parents right off the bat. You try to live like me off the bat. I grew up in a trailer park. I didn't start out buying Challengers with cash or driving new fucking cars. This is the first new vehicle I bought myself. I'm 50 fucking years old. Why? Because I was about my money first. I was about stacking money. I wanted to become a multimillionaire and then I'll buy trucks. And now I could buy any fucking truck I want. I could buy a $100,000 truck and write a check for it. I don't need $100,000. That one works just fine. But I put that off. And so I meet kids all the time, 24 years old, driving the 2500 version of that truck right there. They ain't got no investments and no rental property. And you know what a guy like me thinks when I see that guy? What a fucking dipshit. He's not cool. He's not smart. He is a complete dipshit. That's what I see. And he doesn't see it. He thinks it's cool. It ain't cool at all. It ain't cool at all. Mismanaging your money ain't cool. I don't know who thought that up. So, get your buckets right, man. Built all this shit. This stuff takes time, though. Like building this house and this place, this took time, man. When I moved into here, I made $12 an hour. And the way I survived was I mowed yards. And so the truck that I just traded in for this one, that was 19 years old, that was my new big purchase, and I paid $12,000 cash. And then I went to work mowing yards, and all the money that I made for yards, I put into a checking account. And I came up with this strategy that the money I would make at work, wages are fine, they're honorable, but profits are what make you rich. So I took all the money that I made at work and I used that for paying bills. And I implemented the 8th day of making money on the 8th day. And I took all the money that I made after work on the side hustles, all the money that I made mowing yards, and I just stacked it and stacked it and stacked it. I didn't buy anything. I bought assets that produce cash flow with that money. And I just did this consistently. And after about 7 years of doing this, and I had 8 rental properties, my houses were paying me more money than I made at work, but I kept working. So now I'm making double money. The people that I work with at work, I make twice as much as them. Why? Because I worked the 8th day, because I didn't take on car payments, because I didn't have student loans. I didn't finance dumb shit. I didn't have boats. I just hustled. And I just wanted it. And then you get to year 15, all my friends are still normal, trying to figure out retirement, and I'm well north of $1 million, and then 2, and then I'm teaching, and then I'm writing about it, and then now what? Now I got lots of people that are concerned. Lots of friends, Gerald, what do you think I should do? Well, you should have been doing what I've been telling you to do. But you wasted 7 to 10 years, and then you wasted 7 to 10 years, and now you're in a panic. Yeah, because you've given up 20 years of compounding. So Mr. 25-year-old driving a nicer truck than me, when you're 55, don't fucking come to me about being broke. Don't go to the government and say we need to raise taxes on the rich. We need to pay their fair share. Don't do that, because you just look even dumber. People doing that look even dumber than the people driving new cars when you're 20 years old, 25 years old, 30. You ain't got $1 million, you shouldn't be in a new car, man. You can't afford it. You think you can till you get laid off from COVID, till you realize you don't have any assets. You need to be building assets. That's how you protect yourself. That's what you need. Ownership. The ownership of property that produces cash flow is how you protect yourself. I'm sorry you're in that world. Sometimes people act like they shouldn't be in that world. I'm sorry you're in a world that's run by money, but you are in a world that's run by money, and you have to get that shit right. You can't neglect it anymore. I ranted the other day on Instagram about you should have term life insurance right now. So you're 25. Some of you are driving a nicer truck than me. You got kids. You ain't got $1 million. And if you die, all you're going to do is leave people bills. Shame on you. And so let me tell you what your mom won't tell you. You're fucking up. You need to go get term life insurance. This is what I talk about in my book, You Don't Have to Die Broke. Getting the buckets right. Get that shit right, dude. Get it right. You should deserve to drive that. Not because you signed a piece of paper, dude. They'll give a monkey. If he has a job, they'll sign a piece of paper to give you a car. But wouldn't it be better to write a check? What would that feel like? What if you had your money so tight you could just write checks? Man, can your parents do that? Can your uncle do that? Just stroke a check for a new car? I think I'll get that new, just take that in and write a check for the difference. No. Majority of people, they're rolling negative equity into the next deal. You know why you're rolling negative equity? Because you don't know the fuck you're doing with money. That's why. Let me be the first to tell you that. Let me break your bubble. You're not that damn smart. So if you're rolling negative equity into car deals, you're not smart. You don't know shit. You're not doing well with money, dude. So you need to hear that. So you can fix that. Now you can fix it. Now you have an opportunity. You met someone who just told you the truth. You're not doing well. You can make your payments. Big deal. You're not doing well. Everyone watching this is not doing well. You don't have enough. You're not protected. You're not ready for what could possibly come. The COVID, this could just be the beginning. What if we have something that's even worse? You have an obligation to the people around you. King, queen, get your money right, man. It's nice when I don't have a mortgage. No car payments. No house mortgage. You could take the cat. I don't really like him, but can't lose it though, man. I mean, I get it. Technically, you could do taxes, whatever, bro, but it's a nice feeling, man. You think that makes it easier for me to try to write my next book or put together my next course or teach my next thing or launch my next business when I don't have car payments, I don't have, credit card bills, I don't have any consumer debt. Like it's just profit. Like I just got to make my minimum and the rest is just profit. And here's the cool thing. When you got a portfolio of rental houses, they're paying my electric bill. That electricity rent right now, I'm not paying it. People that rent my houses are paying it. That cat's food, I didn't buy that. Renters bought that. This beer, I didn't buy it. Renters bought this beer. Actually, this was given to me by my friend, Joe. But you get what I'm saying. Assets. If you own a business, other people's money comes into your business. See, all of the money that you want is in the pockets, purses, wallets, checkbooks, and credit cards of other people. Well, you got to go to do business with them. So people have to know you. And it's a lot easier to get people to know you. It's a lot easier to push your art out there. It's a lot easier to push your intent into the universe if you don't have the pressures. How many of you can't go do what you want to do because you owe money? Or I would like to go back to school, or I wish I could sell my paintings, or I wish I could do this, but I owe this, and I owe that, and I owe this, and I owe that. And you didn't have to owe that. Like if you could go back to 18, you could just not sign the papers, not sign up for the car, not sign up for the college. Just don't get the credit card. Like don't do it. But these decisions were made, and now you don't get to live out your dreams because the buckets aren't right. You didn't get it right. Or maybe you did, and if you did, congratulations. That's just not most people. And so that's my message. I'm here, a preacher of prosperity, a preacher of plenty, like to say, listen, if you get your buckets right, and this is not a, it don't matter your age, race, or financial situation. Anyone can start this process. It takes 7 to 10 years, but you have to start doing the do, man, right? So money is everywhere. It's all around us, dude. Let's go back in my little tent and we'll call it a day. Anyway, if you're trading stocks, it's all about this right here, right? 4 stages of price movement. You guys be good. God bless. Thanks for listening.